Welcome back, dear thrill seekers and ghost hunters. Before we start this spectral journey, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a scare. Today, we're uncovering the mysteries of the United Kingdom, showcasing the top 10 most haunted locations. The Ancient Ram Inn. Dating back to 1145, the Ancient Ram Inn is a notorious hotspot for ghost hunters. Originally constructed on a pagan burial ground, the inn was used for various purposes, including a home, an inn, and even a public house. Many believe the location's dark past has left a spiritual imprint, leading to the numerous hauntings reported today. Over the years, guests who've dared to spend a night have reported waking up in terror, feeling as though they were being choked by unseen hands, hearing ear-splitting screams in the depths of the night, and even seeing full-bodied apparitions. Specifically, the ghost of a witch burned at the stake in the 1500s is a recurring figure in these reports. It is believed that the witch took refuge in the inn before she was captured and killed, and her spirit continues to roam the grounds. Another infamous entity is the spectre of a high priestess. People have reported seeing her suddenly appear in rooms, startling and terrifying the unsuspecting guests. Pendle Hill, Lancashire. In the quiet town of Pendle, Lancashire, lies the Pendle Hill, a place notorious for its connection to the dark arts. The hill is primarily known for the Pendle witch trials of 1612. One of the most famous witch trials in English history. 10 people were accused of witchcraft and executed, their lives ending at the gallows on this ominous hill. Ever since, there have been countless reports of ghostly activity, with people claiming to have seen the spectral figures of the executed witches. Visitors to Pendle Hill have reported eerie lights moving around the hill, inexplicable cold spots, and feelings of overwhelming dread. A nearby farmhouse is said to be particularly haunted, with poltergeist activity, disembodied voices, and sightings of ghostly figures. These consistent reports have earned Pendle Hill a fearsome reputation and a place in paranormal history. The Tower of London. The Tower of London, originally built by William the Conqueror in the 1070s, is a historical landmark with dark and blood-soaked history. As a place known for its brutal executions, it's no surprise that it's considered one of the most haunted places in the UK. Over the centuries, the tower has served multiple purposes: a royal palace, a treasury, a menagerie, an armoury, and most famously a prison. The White Tower, the oldest part of the complex, is where Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, was beheaded in 1536. Her ghost is reportedly seen near the place of her execution, sometimes carrying her severed head under her arm. In addition, the ghost of Lady Jane Grey, who was queen for 9 days before being overthrown and beheaded, has also been spotted. The hauntings aren't confined to nobility. Even the spirits of commoners, such as the ghosts of a grizzly bear, have been reported, cementing the Tower of London's reputation as a hive of paranormal activity. Glamis Castle, Scotland. Glamis Castle in Scotland is an impressive site with its fortified walls and turreted towers. The castle is steeped in history and chilling tales, making it one of the most haunted places in Scotland. The castle was the childhood home of the late Queen Mother, but long before her time, it was home to numerous spectral inhabitants. Janet Douglas, Lady Glamis, was accused of witchcraft and plotting to poison King James V. Despite her pleas of innocence, she was burned at the stake in 1537. Her ghost is said to haunt the castle, especially the clock tower. Then there's Earl Beardy, also known as Alexander Lyon, who was reportedly a cruel and wicked man. Legend has it that he gambled with the devil and lost his soul, dooming him to play cards until doomsday. His ghost is often heard in the halls swearing and shouting. Borley Rectory, Essex. Dubbed the most haunted house in England, Borley Rectory in Essex has a reputation that precedes it. Built in 1862, it became infamous for alleged paranormal activity that occurred there during the 20th century. Despite being destroyed by a fire in 1939 and later demolished, the site continues to be a focus of supernatural fascination. Ghostly reports include inexplicable footsteps, ringing bells, thrown stones, and even the apparition of a nun. The story goes that a monk from the local monastery had a relationship with a nun from a nearby convent. When their affair was discovered, the monk was executed and the nun was bricked up alive in the convent walls. The love-stricken spirits are said to haunt the rectory grounds. Visitors have claimed to witness an apparition of a headless man, phantom carriages and spectral animals, causing an aura of unease around the ruined site. The village of Plague, Eyam. The quaint and peaceful village of Eyam in Derbyshire holds a tragic past. In 1665, the bubonic plague arrived via a flea-infested cloth, delivered to the local tailor. Recognising the severity of the disease, the villagers chose to quarantine themselves. Even as the plague ravaged their population, this self-imposed quarantine saved many lives outside Eyam, but at the cost of at least 260 villagers. Today, Eyam is known as the Plague Village, and it's a hotspot for reported supernatural activity. Sightings of ghostly figures dressed in 17th century clothing and apparitions of plague victims are commonly reported. One of the most active spots is the Riley Graves, where the Hancock family was buried after losing 7 members to the plague in a week. Visitors to Eyam have reported hearing phantom sounds of weeping, feeling sudden temperature drops, and even capturing orbs of light on a camera. Skirrid Mountain Inn, Wales. At the edge of the Brecon Beacons in Wales, the Skirrid Mountain Inn has stood for over 900 years. This ancient inn has a grim past, serving as a courtroom in the 17th century, where it's believed that as many as 180 people were sentenced to death by hanging. The hangings were carried out on the premises, with the victims strung up to a beam over the stairwell. Visitors to the inn have reported feeling an unexplainable pressure around their necks as they ascend the staircase, as though an unseen noose were being tightened. Others have witnessed the ghostly figure of John Crowther, one of the convicted who was hanged there. Some patrons and staff have even reported seeing glasses suddenly fly off shelves, feeling cold touches on their backs, and hearing disembodied voices. Samuelsbury Hall, Lancashire. This magnificent half-timbered hall in Lancashire is steeped in history and tragedy. Among the numerous apparitions reported here, the most famous is Lady Dorothy Southworth, also known as the White Lady. In the 17th century, Lady Dorothy fell in love with a man from a rival family. When her family discovered their affair, her lover was murdered. Dorothy was sent to a convent. Her tragic love story has made her a permanent fixture at Samuelsbury Hall. Visitors report seeing her spectral figure wandering the halls or standing mournfully at the window looking out towards a family graveyard where her lover was buried. Other reports include a group of ghostly children and the apparition of a priest. The consistent paranormal reports make Samuelsbury Hall a must-visit for paranormal investigators. Greyfriars, Kirkyard, Scotland. Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh is often considered one of the most haunted cemeteries in the world. The cemetery's most infamous spectre is of George Mackenzie, a ruthless Lord Advocate responsible for the death of nearly 18,000 Covenanters. His tomb, known as the Black Mausoleum, is the epicenter of the reported paranormal activity. Since a homeless man seeking shelter disturbed Mackenzie's tomb in the 1990s, there have been numerous reports of physical attacks in the Kirkyard. Visitors have left with scratches, bruises, burns, and some have even been knocked unconscious. Reports also include the feeling of an unseen force pulling or pushing them, sudden temperature drops, unexplainable smells, and feelings of dread. Greyfriars Kirkyard has become a popular location for ghost tours, drawing thousands of thrill seekers every year. Highgate Cemetery, London. Highgate Cemetery, one of the magnificent 7 cemeteries in London, is renowned for its Gothic architecture and its chilling tales. Since its establishment in 1839, it's been the final resting place for around 170,000 people. And it seems that some are not resting peacefully. Among the overgrown vegetation and the atmospheric Victorian tombs, visitors have reported an unnerving amount of ghostly sightings. The cemetery's most famous supernatural resident is the Highgate Vampire, a tall figure with red eyes often seen gliding through the graves. Visitors have also reported seeing the spectre of a mad old woman running among the gravestones, a ghostly cyclist, and a dark shrouded figure who stares out over the city from the top of the hill. The phantom of a duelist, believed to have been killed in a duel over a love affair, is also a common sight. These reports and the cemetery's eerie aura make Highgate Cemetery the most haunted location in the United Kingdom. That's it for our top 10 most haunted locations in the UK. Would you dare visit any of them? Share your thoughts and any spooky experiences of your own in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep exploring those shadows.